Is anyone else starting to understand why people are going back to their exes now? Because let's not beat around the bush. The dating market is horrific, or at least it feels that way for a lot of people. Everyone you meet seems to either be lying about their intentions, too busy, one message away from ghosting you, keeping their options open, or have the attention span of a goldfish. And it's not just me saying this. Look in the comments on almost any dating video. Everyone is exhausted, everyone is confused, everyone is basically saying the same thing. This is weirdly difficult right now. Because dating apps are confusing, organic dating feels impossible, meeting someone through friends, it just doesn't always happen, and staying single can feel fine for a while until one Sunday afternoon when the loneliness kicks in and you're suddenly petrified of dying alone. And I think when you weigh up these options, that's when the ex starts to look a little bit more tempting. Because when dating feels like this, your ex can start to look like the safest option. Of course, not necessarily because they're right for you, but because they're familiar. They already know you. You don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to retell your life story. With your ex, there is history, there is comfort, there are memories, there are private jokes. There is this sense of just being known. And when you've been on enough dates where people feel inconsistent, unavailable, vague, or just completely misaligned with who you are, these things start to feel even more enticing. Because starting again is exhausting. So I understand why people go back. I really do. Sometimes your ex feels like a known problem. And a known problem can feel safer than an unknown future. Because at least with your ex, you know the issues, you know the arguments, you know the patterns. And sometimes your brain goes, well, at least I know what I'm dealing with here. But that is where you do have to be careful, because familiar is definitely not the same as safe. And missing someone is definitely not the same as evidence that the relationship should restart. I think this is one of the hardest parts of breakups, because when dating feels awful, your brain starts editing the past. It remembers the good bits, the sofa nights, the holidays, the way they laughed, the way they knew your coffee order, the way you didn't have to explain yourself. But it doesn't always remember with the same intensity why it ended. The arguments, the anxiety, the inconsistency, the way you kept asking for the same thing, the way the relationship slowly became something you could not keep surviving anymore. And that's the bit we have to be honest about, because relationships usually end for a reason. They don't normally end out of nowhere. And I think sometimes when we're lonely, we minimize those reasons. We start negotiating with the past. We start saying, well, was it really that bad? But the thing to remember is this: if nothing has changed, you are not going back to a new relationship. You are going back to the same relationship that will likely end with the same ending. But anyway, that's my thought of the day. I hope it was useful. I'll see you on the next one.